welcome to Now Showing. Suspense, a little bit of drama, loads of thrill, many rounds of laughter, lots of romance and love is what keeps the life going. And this is exactly what our cinema offers to us. And we happily say, bring it on every week. I'm Atika Farooqui with the weekly dose of emotions needed for a healthy life. So let's begin Now Showing with the highlights. Drishyam 2 is a taut thriller that mixes logic with emotion. Good performances make it a suspenseful watch. She Said, a film that unravels the making of Me Too movement internationally, is a guide to sustained efforts to combat illegal and immoral conduct at work. Rajkummar Rao and Huma Qureshi speak to me on the role of red lipstick in the success of their film Monica, Oh My Darling. Singer-actor Aparshakti Khurana talks about his new song and his web series that is set in the world of film industry. Let's talk about Drishyam 2 that releases this week in the cinema halls. Ajay Devgn's gripping sequel Drishyam 2 is a marriage between sense and emotion, legal discourse and psychological warfare. Drishyam 2 takes the story forward from where it had ended. Vijay Salgaonkar, a man living in Goa with his family, played by Ajay Devgn, has fooled the entire legal system with his wit, even though he was only chauthi pass, as was reiterated in the story. 7 years hence, he manages to still live in the same city with ample of rumours about him all around. Works across from the police station, the cops of which have been planning to nab him for years, but could not for the lack of evidence. Now, new Inspector General of Police in Goa, played by the new entrant in the universe, Akshaye Khanna, the very sharp cop who solves a murder mystery just as he would play a game of chess, is determined to nab him through shrewd plans as opposed to force. It's a battle of two calm yet conniving men. Tabu returns beautifully, seeking revenge for her son's murder even after these years, unabated, unwilling to forgive. There is a mix of authority and the pathos of a mother who can't do a thing about her son's killing. In scenes where all of them gather in one scene, seasoned actors are such a treat to watch here. The film, directed by debutant Abhishek Pathak and the screenplay written by himself and Amil Kian Khan, is never verbose or lazy. Every scene has a purpose and connects itself to another line somewhere else in the story. The cinematography by Sudhir K. Chaudhary relies more on stable shots as opposed to handheld or shaky camera, giving the universe a balance of reality and suspense. The viewer is not fed with artificially built-up thrill. It's real in the script. Actors Ajay Devgn and Akshaye Khanna are pitch perfect as a family man and another, the custodian of law who resorts to sly methods to extract evidences. In a scene where Akshaye Khanna walks into the house of Ajay Devgn while the wife and the daughters are all alone in the house is a classic case of psychological warfare. His body language and simmering and seething body language in all the scenes are very appealing on screen. The best highlight of Drishyam 2 is that it never surrenders logic in an attempt to hold on to emotion or thrill. At 145 minutes, the last 1 hour is actually quite nail-biting. Barring a few scenes where I thought, no, there were some CCTV cameras by the police, this would have been caught, but it wasn't. Drishyam does not let you down. Whether you are a young adult or a senior citizen जिसने दुनिया देखी हो, it is well performed, well made, a taut thriller worth your time. Another release at the box office this week is She Said. It is based on the New York Times investigation by its reporters Megan Twohey and Jodie Cantor. This is an earnest and a non-dramatic representation of the manner in which one of the most important movements in our generation, Me Too, had panned out. The story helped shatter decades of silence around the subject of sexual assault in Hollywood and created ripple effect around the world. Both the journalists garnered a Pulitzer Prize for this work. Directed by Maria Schrader and written by Rebecca Lindquist, this film puts the focus on the survivors, exposing their trauma and pain as they reluctantly come out of their self-imposed exile and gather strength to speak out against the atrocities committed by an all-too-powerful man. The idea is for all to jump in together, but will they or won't they? The anchors of this story are the two journalists. One is calm and composed, the other is a wide-eyed, inquisitive young woman. Both have children at home and supportive husbands. They get full support from their bosses. Men too to travel across continents to interview or just speak to women who were at the receiving end of a sex maniac's whims, particularly when they were young. She Said is adapted from the 2019 non-fiction book She Said, Breaking the Sexual Harassment Story that helped ignite a movement, written by Jodie Cantor and Megan Twohey. The tone and the pace are that of a procedural crime drama, and the narrative gives the audience an intimate knowledge of how journalists work in an environment of a newsroom and while breaking a story. The 2017 report helped push the downfall of Harvey Weinstein. It's a well-told story that deserves a patient watch and is also an eye-opener. It helps train women in identifying predatory behavior at work or outside of it. Moving on, Rajkummar Rao and Huma Qureshi are two actors who keep challenging themselves. Raj with a mix of performance-oriented roles and commercial roles that guarantee box office. Huma just turned a producer and also acted in a film which challenged body shaming. What a pleasure it is to talk to artists who refuse to be boxed. So let's meet Raj and Huma, who are just out of Monica Oh My Darling, that's streaming on Netflix. First, to begin with, we're going to talk about Monica, Oh My Darling. Is it true that a red lipstick got you this role, Huma?
Really? Yeah, I mean, cool. सब लगा के घूमेंगे, even boy.
But ऐसे पता है हुआ था.
I'm wearing one.
Is that why you're wearing red lipstick? Oh. नहीं, उस दिन क्या हुआ? मैं बहुत थकी हुई थी, and I'd gone to meet Sriram, and I was just wearing red lipstick because I have a theory. I don't know if it's true or not, but if you have dark circles, if you wear red lipstick, तो कोई dark circles ही दिखता. People are just looking at your red lipstick. So, and then when I didn't know what Monica was, and then I told Vasan, because I met him, like, why are you not casting me? I heard you making a film. You've known me for so long. And then he called me 2 days later, and when he offered me and he narrated the part, and he offered it to me. And then when I read it, I was like, this is why, because she's supposed to be a flashy character. So right. Vasan doesn't agree, but it's my theory that I think because I was wearing red, I think it kind of helped.
So this is a dark comedy, and Raj, I watched it and I was quite happy to see that there's a lot of experimentation going on, and there are no just only white characters and only black characters, and situations are not only good and only bad and only dangerous. There's like a fusion going on. Yeah. When you were narrated this script by, of course, Vasan, what did you make of it?
So I read the script and I felt the same thing. Oh wow, there's so many. I found it funny. I loved the twists and turns of the film. I loved the ending, and I loved my character, and actually every character. I thought it's very rarely you get a script which everything about the film works. And by the time I knew about the other cast also a little bit who all are there, so I thought it would be. And Vasan, I've been a big admirer of his work for a very long time, so I thought it's the film. It's that film where I have to say yes, and it was a no-brainer for me. I read it immediately. I called Sanjay sir that let's do it. I'm on for it, and I'm glad I said yes immediately.
Yeah, we all are glad.
And you seem like so appropriate for the film. You actually seem like the perfect cast. Now after watching the film, I don't think I can imagine anybody else in those roles.
Thank you. I think that happens when you make a good film. You always think about those actors only कि इनके अलावा तो कोई कर ही नहीं सकता था. And अगर कोई और होता मेरी जगह तब भी I'm sure इतनी अच्छी बनती. तब
नहीं बनती, ये सच है.
Ugly?
नहीं बन सकती थी. Nobody can do it but you, Raj.
Thank you.
Okay. I was trying to understand when I saw this film, having seen a lot of your other work. You've got national awards. You've been seen and known in the light of a serious actor who does meaningful films. जो urban audience के लिए भी है, rural audience के लिए भी है. Your work in Newton was appreciated. Then you've done Hansal Mehta's films, like an entire gamut of films that you have attempted. And when I saw, I have been seeing your work, Huma, again, there's a lot of diversity. I was thinking, do you ever, while signing for a new film, do you ever feel afraid or a little fidgety about the kind of fan following that you have basis your past work, and how will this film affect your fan following and the way your admirers see you as an actor?
I think my people who like me and like my work, they like it because of who I am, because of me experimenting with my work and not doing the same thing again and again. They like seeing me in different characters. I'm assuming they like me doing different stuff, different characters and in different kinds of unique stories. And but honestly, when you're signing a film or reading a script, you don't think about anyone else but yourself. So while reading it, I this thought actually have never ever crossed my mind. Uh, Also because I don't really feel like people know me or I'm a star. Honestly, I'm being very genuine. And no one knows it. I'm doing it because I really like it. Yeah, I'm not doing it for any other reason के यार ये वाली चलेगी because मेरे जो fans हैं, I think they like it for who I am. So I'll just keep listening to my heart and doing films.
No, I resonate with what Raj is saying. I think both of us are similar in the sense that I would like to say that we both always want to do something different. At least, for me, I feel like if I've done a part and somebody offers me something similar, so my thought always is it's like मैं नया क्या दे सकती हूँ? There's nothing new to offer. The love that I've got is always been from my audiences when I've tried to do something that is not expected.
Yeah.
Whether it's been a Maharani or whether it's been a Monica, it's always been the novelty factor. So if I repeat myself, I think I will be like, cheating them in a way. So I feel and the love that we get is not because of keeping the same hairstyle or not changing. I think the love we get is because we can play different characters and we can pull them off.
And there's this one particular scene where for the ones who have not watched the film, this is a spoiler, so you can close your ears. There is one particular scene where there's an altercation between you and Jen, and one of you dies. That was such a hilarious scene. It was such a cute scene, I swear. How did you block it? How did you rehearse for it? How did you plan that? How are the two of you going to execute it?
I think we had a great team. Our Prateek, our action director, Vasan, they choreographed it pretty well. But then eventually it was me and Huma. We were just being in the moment and it was pretty organic. I think I love the way Huma growls and just the way like superb it is.
And I love the way that Raj just submits. He didn't have that whole, oh, I'm a guy, I'm going to macho play it. No, he just played it like how he responded was so real and so funny. Like literally there were times I was controlling my laughter with how he was reacting. And I was like, please don't do this. I'm going to break character. But it was just fun riffing off each other and playing off each other. We were jumping and pushing each other and doing all of that. And of course, we were careful not to hurt each other. But वो मजा तो बहुत आया. मतलब it's one of my, I think it'll always be one of my most favorite scenes ever. And I'm so honored to share this with Raj, really.
And you forgot to ask him permission लिए थे.
नहीं, permission तो उस scene में ले नहीं सकते थे ना, situation ऐसी.
Okay. I think मैंने गुंजाइश ही छोड़ी थी permission लेके देने की.
I'm sure आपकी बोलना नहीं चाहिए लेकिन कब्र तक जाएगा ये डायलॉग. परमिशन.
That is true. मुझे कुछ साल पहले तो डर था कि यार I hope ये मेरा पहला और आखिरी डायलॉग ही ना famous रहे. I hope I'm able to ever do work, So yeah, that was a fear that I had, but I'm happy that I've been able to like do some good work after that as well.
Both of you are doing a lot of diverse roles and diverse projects with different kind of directors. You are working with Anubhav Sinha, Bheed. You just turned a producer, Huma. Double XL was one of your first productions. How is this new? I mean, we were all very sad during the lockdown and we thought the world is going to come to an end. Kya hoga? Iske baad kya hoga? But how beautifully the world has changed, and to a certain extent in favor of artists. There is no foundation. You can produce stuff and you produce something that otherwise would have been called a risky project. I quite like this trailer. I love the movie. So how is this new world order treating you as artists?
No, thank you, Atika. It really means a lot. No, you're right. I think what we all realized कि जब lockdown था, the only reason why all of us survived is because of music, because of art, because of culture, because of films, because of shows. So when everything stops, only artists saved the world in that sense. For me personally speaking, I think it also made me realize that one has to, take out and unclutter your head and just focus more towards what you want to do. And I'm happy that, I'll always be very proud of Double XL. It's my first baby, the reason why my company started. And it's again a subject very close to my heart. I would have liked the film to do better at the box office, but that's everyone's dream. But the market is such that no one can really predict anything. So it's the film has made money. It's coming out on Netflix in a few months, and I'm hoping that it'll get the love.
Time for a short break on the show. When we come back, we have Aparshakti Khurana with his new song. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Now Showing. I'm Atika Farooqui. Singer and actor Aparshakti Khurana has been impressing the critics and the audiences with his acting, especially with his last big screen outing, Dhoka Around the Corner. And now he has a new song out. This one is titled Hum Dono. My colleague Vishal Chatkara spoke to Aparshakti Khurana about his new song and more.
हम दोनों होना जुदा कभी हम दोनों है कि जहाँ भी हम दोनों मिले इस तरह.
Apart, your latest music video for the song Hum Dono has been garnering millions of views ever since it dropped on YouTube. The song has vocals by Arko, but one thing is very clear, that camera loves Aparshakti Khurana. You are looking very fresh in the video. So what attracted you to the song?
So, I mean, I was actually jamming with the entire team of Z Music Company to do my own song, which I've just shot in Turkey. And जब हम अपना गाना क्रैक कर रहे थे, तब उन्होंने मुझे एक गाना सुनाया. And they were like, yeah, we are not very sure if now you can sing the song because Arko ने सब कुछ complete कर लिया and now we are just about to shoot it. And if you want to feature in it, we can definitely, we would love for you to feature in it. मैंने कहा बिल्कुल ठीक है, no problem at all. मैं अपना गाना तो शूट करने जा ही रहा हूँ. उससे उसी टाइम के आसपास कोई हम और डेट्स निकाल लेते हैं and let's try to finish this as well. So they were absolutely thrilled and they were like, Apar, you will not believe, we were this close of calling you कि यार क्या हम गाना कर सकते हैं featuring के लिए. We thought in middle of cracking your song हम featuring की बात करें will not go down well. मैंने कहा ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. When I like a song, I can do anything for it.
Let's talk about your last big screen outing, Dhoka Around the Corner, in which you played the character of a Kashmiri boy named Gul. You mastered the Kashmiri accent for this character Gul. Do you think getting the accent right is almost like the half of the job done for an actor who got to play a role like this?
I think I would like to believe that the colloquial language and the accents and those colloquial terms, उस बंदूक को कनिष्क लो बुलाना, या फिर when I say कि जब मैं खिड़की से बाहर देख के बोलता हूँ अभी मतलब अभी, कश्मीरी में कहता हूँ वही मतलब अभी मतलब, तो वो शब्दावली है, ये सब चीजें ना, I think जब आधा काम हो चुका होता है कैरेक्टर में, उसके बाद ये चीजें आती हैं. जब मैंने वो बंदूक हाथ में पकड़ ली, जब स्लीव्स रोल अप हो गई, जब आंखें भूरी हो गई, उसके बाद वो लैंग्वेज करेक्ट फॉल करनी शुरू हुई. इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डू सच रोल्स ड्यूरिंग पैंडेमिक. एवरी थर्ड डे वी वर गेटिंग टेस्टेड. हर शॉट के बाद आपको मास्क पहनना है, दोबारा से सैनिटाइज करना है. दिस वाज फॉर मी, लैंग्वेज वाज नॉट द चैलेंज, बॉडी लैंग्वेज वाज नॉट द चैलेंज, कश्मीरी एक्सेंट वाज नॉट द चैलेंज. द चैलेंज वाज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ ऑल दीज थिंग्स जो पैंडेमिक के साथ by default aa rahi thi.
Apart, you'll be seen in Jubilee. This is a series, a period drama set in the world of movies in the newly independent India. We are really excited about that. What more can you tell us about that series that's of course directed by Vikramaditya Motwani?
Yeah, मुझे लगता नहीं है कि अभी तक ऐसे वर्ल्ड का मैं पार्ट हुआ हूँ. मुझे लगता नहीं है कि जो मैंने उसमें किया है वो मैं दोबारा कर पाऊंगा. It is so close to my heart and it is something so magical which जो एक विक्रमादित्य मोटवानी जैसे जीनियस ही करवा सकते हैं. मैं ज्यादा तो नहीं बता पाऊंगा आपको जुबली के बारे में, बट हैविंग सेड दैट, इट इज अ शो ऑन अ क्लैश बिटवीन टू फर्स्ट सुपरस्टार्स ऑफ आवर कंट्री. और फिल्म मेकिंग की बात तो वहाँ होगी ही, और फिल्म मेकिंग की बात होगी तो हिमांशु राय की बात होगी ही वहां पर. बट वी हैव बहुत कुछ चीजें हमने, शायद कुछ चुनिंदा चीजें हमने शायद उनकी लाइफ से शायद ली हो, लेकिन अदरवाइज आपको बताऊं तो ये एक फिक्शनलाइज्ड वर्जन ऑफ दैट एरा है. एंड बहुत ही मजे का शो है, बहुत ही कमाल के अप्स एंड डाउन्स हैं. एंड आई थिंक आपको बहुत मजा आने वाला है देखने में. एंड ऑफ कोर्स एक पीरियड ड्रामा है, सो 1946 के अराउंड शुरू होता है. सो वो तो इन एनी केस विजुअली वैसे ही बहुत सुंदर होता है.
Your brother Aysuhmann Khurrana has added an extra N and R to his name. Do you also believe in numerology? And has any ever
सर
suggested you to
ये
add?
बचपन से ही ऐसी स्पेलिंग्स हैं बाय चांस, एंड आई डोंट बिलीव इन एस्ट्रोलॉजी और न्यूमरोलॉजी. मेरे पिताश्री जरूर एक बहुत ही ज्यादा फेमस एस्ट्रोलॉजर और न्यूमरोलॉजिस्ट हैं, बट क्या है ना, हलवाई अपनी जलेबी खाता नहीं है ना. आप मोबाइल की दुकान पे जाएंगे तो उसने उस इंसान ने सबसे महंगा वाला नहीं, सबसे सस्ते वाला फोन रखा हुआ है जो जल्दी जल्दी चलता है, जो हैंग नहीं होता है. So I think, and also ethically, as an astrologer, my father never believed in practicing astrology on himself and his family members, and he has never done that. तो उसकी वजह से I think ऐसा कभी हुआ नहीं.
So this is it. We come to the end, but remember the quote by Rajkummar Rao. There is no good or bad cinema. There are films that connect either less or more with people. You find the ones that are made for you. I'm Atika Farooqui saying goodbye till we meet again. Ciao.